What's up, everybody? Lilo Godson here, back with the Black History Facts. I'm going to do this new series where I'm going to bring up Black history and facts that can educate people and help contribute to the liberation of setting the Black people free. Love my brothers and sisters. So today I'm going to talk about what's called the passbooks in South Africa during the apartheid. If you don't know what that is, that'd be the equivalent to an indigenous person's status card, because they were under like an Indian act of their own. That's what the apartheid was. What the apartheid is, it was like an Indian act. And what they did was the South Africans came up here to Canada to watch how the Indian Act was implemented, and the discriminatory laws, and how they bureaucratically and systemically oppressed the indigenous people. So they took that same philosophy and they went back down to South Africa, and that's what the apartheid was. So what they did in South Africa is they all got together and then they burned all of the passbooks. So that's, like I said, the equivalent to the status cards in South Africa. They burned them all down. They did this publicly. They did this publicly to present themselves as free, liberated people, and they will not be systemically surveilled. They will not be, what's the right word here? Commoditized. They will not be seen as objects, but rather as people, free spirits, sovereign beings, right? So during Black History Month, we remember the powerful act of the burning of the passbooks. It was a bold and symbolic rejection of the apartheid's past laws that controlled the movement and the lives of Black South Africans. These public burnings were acts of a collective defiance. It was a refusal to accept identity papers that institutionalized racial surveillance and curtailed freedom, and a declaration of dignity, unity, and resistance. Honoring those who participated honors their courage and the broader struggle for equality, reminding us that ordinary people risked everything to claim their rights and shape a more just future. It is also just as important to remember that the apartheid did not arise in a vacuum. Some South African officials and thinkers looked to settler colonial policies abroad, including discriminatory laws like Canada's Indian Act and the treatment of indigenous peoples, and adapted segregationist tactics and bureaucratic tools to entrench racial control at home, making the resistance embodied by passbook burnings all the more vital and courageous. So shout out to my South African brothers and sisters. That was a great act of Black defiance and sovereignty and taking our freedom, because freedom is not given, it's taken. You got to remember that. Remember that when you're being occupied by settler colonials, you're essentially in captivity. So it is up to us to take back our freedom and to reclaim it and to recognize ourselves and honor ourselves and our brothers and our sisters. So I thought I would just come on today and share that that fact with you guys. I don't want to call it a fun fact, because I don't know if it's like fun, but it's a fact. It's a part of history. That's what I'm here to do. That's my job. That's why I'm here. Thanks for joining me, Lilo Godson. Once again, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world calls Jesus Christ. Shalom to the kings and queens.